All right, hey guys, my name is Brian Navarro from Navarro Athletics, and today we're going to be talking about hip wipers. So what's a hip wiper? Well, a hip wiper is a move you can do within your training program that's actually going to help the mobility within your hip joint. And what we're going to cover today with the hip wipers, we're going to talk about why you should be using this in your training program, proper form and technique of doing the hip wiper, and as well as incorporating regressions and progressions for people depending on your fitness level. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the hip wiper. So some people, depending on just their athletic ability, maybe even just natural tightness within their muscles and joints. I'm a fairly tight person. Some people are super flexible naturally. They might have issues within their hips, and this might become apparent during a squat. You might have trouble really getting down into the lowest part of the squat right here. You might be able to only go down to a certain level. Maybe your heels start coming up, or you just overall have just not necessarily pain, but you just know that you're just not mobile within this hip joint, you know, and you really want to work on that. And it's only going to be good for you over time, especially with age. You know, hip joints, shoulder joints, and back health are probably the top three, as well as like knee, you know, things to look for in terms of longevity of your fitness health and just lifestyle overall when it comes to training. All right, I guess that's enough said. Let's just get to the exercise. All right, so hip wipers. So I'll go ahead and show you forward and then we'll go sideways. So yeah, hip wipers, we're gonna be set up like this. I'll go ahead and rotate around. So pretty much like this, and the key to this exercise, and you'll see how I'm even tight myself and how somebody who's even more mobile will have super easy time doing this. But what we wanna do, you could, I would say start on the soft surface, carpet or a mat or something, but literally trying to keep our body nice and upright. Remember those squats, third world squats, nice neutral neck, neutral spine. And we're going to let our legs fall or control the descension or fall of those legs. And you can see, I'll go ahead and move back a little bit more. You can see when I fall to that direction, I'm flat against the ground and I'm facing more or less forward or 3/4 forward here. And then returning back, and then I'm gonna fall to the other side. And I'll just do that here. I'm just not sure how much floor you can see here. But then we fall to the other side and return, oscillate to the other side and return. Hands are just up here. For now, we'll talk about regressions and progressions later. But this, if you can do this nice and comfortably, this is a good sign that your hips are looking good, that ball and socket joint is healthy, and you're ready to start taking on maybe more advanced lifts like Bulgarian squats, you know, deeper squats, sumo deadlifts, all that fun stuff. Yeah, I'll go ahead and show you front view. All right, so yep, again, it's nice and upright, nice neutral neck, neutral spine, and controlling the descension to one side and then falling to the other. And you can see, like, you might start to slide forward or back. That's just kind of natural within this exercise, but you really want to get that nice, you really want to force your spine and your torso to really work with your hips here. You know, the whole body's connected. It's all one thing. It has to learn to cooperate with itself in its kinetic chain. So that's pretty much the exercise right here. And I'll go ahead and do like 4 more. I'd probably do like 10 to 12, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, just as a warm up, or even before, you know, maybe running, squatting, or even just like a recovery day where I don't really want to do a lot of heavy lifting or fast moving, but I know I have to move. And by getting blood and circulation within the joints that aren't necessarily going to be having that blood and circulation on a normal, natural, unexercised day, it's just gonna help them out. It's gonna be beneficial for them. They're gonna heal, they're gonna recover, they're gonna be ready to go when you want them to be. All right, so that's pretty much the hip wiper. I'd say like 3 sets of 10 to 12 of those thrown in your workout at the beginning, in the middle of a recovery day, or even just on a day at the office where you're feeling stiff and you just got to move those hips. This is one of the ways you can do it. Otherwise, I'd hire a Samba teacher. But let me go ahead and show you the regressions and progressions of this exercise. All right, so a regression for this, some people are really tight in the hips and they can't go further than this, or something like it feels like they got like some kind of bone spur in their hip and they can't make it. At that point, I'd suggest go see a doctor, get an x-ray, you know, find a professional like physician to help you with that, or a physical therapist. But one thing you could always do is try to assist yourself with movement. So if I can't just allow my body to disengage the upper and lower body and just have that operate by itself, I'll have to use my hands. So I could put one hand on the ground or two hands on the ground and then just kind of get my body into that position. Try to push myself up to force that stretch as much as you can, and then help yourself return back to the neutral position, get yourself set up and rotate to the other side again and push yourself nice into that stretch. If you can get one or two nice deep breaths all the way through the diaphragm and rotate back, that's a good way to regress the exercise. If you want to progress the exercise, you can always start adding weight to it. This is hardwood. It's a little hard on my knees, but I'm gonna go ahead and just demonstrate this here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just holding it similar to that goblet squat hold, right against our chest, rotating to one side, and then just going to the other. So for some people, this might actually be easier because this weight is keeping you stable a little bit more. But overall, I think it's also pretty tough because now we're having to hold a weight up with just our upper body and our torso, our core, while we do a completely lateral transverse movement within that hip joint. It's a really dynamic movement, and I'd say really good for martial artists, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or even just somebody trying to do something more dynamic and different for a recovery day. All right, so those were the hip wipers. Again, my name is Brian Navarro from Navarro Athletics. Thank you very much for watching. And again, feel free to let me know if you like this exercise or if you've actually tried it out and you have some different takeaways from it, or maybe you even like doing this yourself for your own training program, or maybe you're an athlete and you incorporate it before your warm-ups and all that. Just let me know in the comments. Again, feel free to like and share this page, and thank you very much for watching.